this out of wood or out of plastic or fiberglass or metal? Maybe, depending on how you want the drum to sound. Those might be factors in it. But basically, you know that you've got to have the drum part, you've got to have the head part, you've got to have something to hold it down, something to tighten it. There are certain things that have to be incorporated into your plan. What you need to do is get the end picture first, then you work backwards from there. That's what you need to do in your life. Some of you are living life exactly backwards. You get a new piece and you go, okay, what do I do today? Somebody just called me. Should I go? Should I not go? Well, it depends on what the drum looks like. You begin to make your life decisions based on where you want to be in life. And then you begin to break it down into parts and you begin to say, what is it going to take to get me there? Too many people that I know that are Christians get a picture in their mind of what God wants them to do with their life. And then they lay around and I'm sort of over-exaggerating here to make a point. But it's like they lay around in bed and say, when God wants it to happen, He'll make it happen. Now, how many of you would respect a farmer who said, when God wants me to buy the property, He'll give it to me? But never went out and looked at it, never decided how you're going to raise the money for it, just waited for the property to drop out of the sky. How many of you would respect the farmer who said, if God wants me to plant, if He wants me to plow my field, He'll send somebody by to plow it for me? God wants me to have seed. I'll wake up in the morning and it will be in barrels in my living room. You see, we work with God. He has a vision of where He wants us to go. Jesus died to make us successful in that vision. But it's our responsibility to get in His face, find out what the vision is, break it up into its various parts, and develop a plan for how we will get from here to there. And if we don't do that, we'll never end up being where God wants us to be with our lives. And many people then are going to go to their grave and say, well, God, I thought you told me I was going to do that. Because, I was waiting for you to. I don't know about you guys, but more and more I understand why the world thinks that Christians are idiots. I understand why they think we're superstitious. I understand why they think that we're lazy. I understand why they think that we're hypocritical. I think we've given them every reason to believe those things are true about us. What I'm looking for is Christians that will be more successful than they are. And I think that's what God's waiting for too. Show me how spiritual you are by how much you've accomplished in life. Show me how well you know God by how many people you influence every day. Now, I know this is not a popular thing to say, especially what I'm going to say next. Show me how much you know God by how much money you have to work with. I'm not saying let money be your God. I'm not saying worship it. I'm not saying run after it, no matter what the cost or whatever, That's not what I'm saying. I think that Christians ought to be willing to go without during certain seasons in their life. I think they ought to be willing to learn from pain. But ultimately, the person that is doing the most good in life is not the one receiving from everyone, but the one giving. And with that, I think we'll close in prayer. Craig, would you do that, please?